At the beginning, I would like to reiterate that the well-being, safety and security of the large Indian community residing in the Gulf and West Asia region remains our utmost priority, and we to this effort, we are constantly monitoring the current situation and are also closely in touch with the local host governments in all the concerned countries. Our missions are issuing regular advisories on a daily basis, sometimes twice in a day, and the advisories inter alia provide various details, including the local information which is shared by the host governments. The host governments have been very proactive in reaching out to our missions, updating them about the current situation, anything which is of importance for the community, any precautionary steps or any such related details. So we are regularly updating that. We are also regularly updating our operational helplines. We are updating the availability of flights and also keeping our community informed about the coordination mechanisms which have been put in place by our missions and consulates, especially with the local host government. The Ministry of External Affairs has a dedicated control room which is addressing many of the queries. We are also in close touch with all the state governments and governments of union territories to update them, and they have been in touch with us. Whatever information we are receiving on a real-time basis, it is being shared, and our missions are immediately reaching out. The helplines of our missions are working 24/7, including through various media channels and also through other social media applications. As I mentioned earlier, the local governments, the missions are in local touch with them, including the civil aviation authorities, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other concerned agencies of these countries, which are keeping us informed about the current situation. On the measures which have been taken, the notable measures which have been taken by our missions and consulates, especially for stranded Indians, the short-term visitors and Indians who were in transit. Most of them have been able to leave. For example, in UAE, the flights have been ramped up and currently flight availability is there. In all other countries also, we are monitoring it on a daily basis and we keep them informed on a regular basis. Where required, they are being provided logistical support, including in terms of accommodation, transit visas, or facilitation of visas from neighboring countries where there are partial flights are not available or airspace is closed, and they are then being assisted for visas. For the resident communities there, our missions in different configurations and geometries are engaging with the community on a regular basis. We have a very vast network of community organizations across these countries. As you are aware, we have a very large diaspora, and these community organizations are also in close touch with our missions, and they are also supporting in our efforts to disseminate information. And I must add that it is important that the information is credible and authentic, and to that extent, I think we need to exercise caution. I will like to update you on the current flight situation and airspace positions. As far as information available with us, we have almost around 130,000 passengers who have returned to India through various flights which are operating. Non-scheduled commercial flights are also operating. From UAE, regular flight operations are taking place from all the airports there, and a number of operators are working from there. Flight availability has increased much more, and they are regularly available. From Saudi Arabia today, Air India and Indigo are starting operations from Riyadh. Other foreign carriers were already operating from Riyadh, and from Jeddah and Medina already we have regular flights. In fact, for Umrah passengers also who are going to perform Umrah, they are regularly going and returning. So in Saudi Arabia, on the ground, all flights are available. From Qatar, Qatar Airways has started flying. We had 5 flights, and today again 2 flights are coming, and I think operations are being ramped up. From Kuwait, they are working from a nearby AQI airport in Saudi Arabia. We are hopeful that from there also the Al Jazeera Airways, they will start operations to India, but we have facilitated movement of passengers from Kuwait via Saudi Arabia. From Bahrain, Gulf Air is operating from Dammam, and they have also made arrangements for people to get transit visas and go directly. So I think they will also be ramping up operations in the next few days, and in Oman regular flights are available. So overall the flight connectivity is improving and flights are available, and in most of these places we have worked out modalities and mechanisms for people to travel. One of the incidents which has happened today, my colleague has already updated you about the incident on MT Seaface Vishnu, which was conducting loading operations off Khor Al Zubair post near Basra today. And out of the 28 crew members, 16 were Indian, and there were 16 Indian nationals. Unfortunately, one Indian national lost his life, and we expressed our deepest condolences for that. But I must mention that our mission has reached out to them. They are in touch with them. We are trying to reach out to the families of all the crew members also, and they have been safely rescued, and we will continue to render all assistance to them. And finally, I should mention that our missions and posts are innovating. They are trying to take steps which are, which basically to update our communities on a real-time basis. And we continue to monitor this current situation. We have our helplines are constantly open, and as an abundant caution on the media front, especially, I think we need to exercise caution, especially on generation of fake content and other reports which are not credible. So that is what I have to share with you today.
Then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.